Last session we discussed the primary key, foreign key, the necessity of having primary key, foreign key. Okay, so all this we have completed, see these doubts, whatever you are getting now, it will be getting slowly cleared, because further as we go into the subject, more doubts will be cleared, because you have hardly seen two tables. So as you start seeing more and more tables, then automatically your doubts will start getting more and more clearer now. Understood? But you have to understand the relationship between two tables, because once you know the relationship between two tables, you later on understand how the relationship will start building between 3 tables, 4 tables, 5 tables and all that. So this will be the process. Okay, see, I'll make database very much simplified now. All database is all about doing CRUD operations on multiple tables, nothing else. Till now you have done CRUD operation on a single table. To do CRUD operation on a single table, you needed a grip of 4 to 5 days. Similarly, to do CRUD operations, means what? Inserting, reading, updating, deleting, all the operations, you have to learn how to do it on multiple tables. That's it. This is all about database. Okay, but you will slowly have to understand that there's a process for it now. How do you exactly understand that? There's a process. Like first you have to understand why so many tables are created, later on how they are related, then how do you insert, then later on how you update, later on how do you delete, all that. It's a process. Slowly you start getting the grip of it. It takes little time. So still we'll continue today also to learn how to create more tables. Okay, from the employee, till now what we have seen is what? Employee and phone. But there are many other details which we are having. If you see the employee details, what were the many other details you are having? First I listed, day before in the last class I listed. What is that? Employee details, or what are the employee details? He can have personal details. What are the personal details? Yeah, he'll have first name, then he can have last name, then he can have date of birth, and he can have a department. Few of the details, personal details. Then you are saying what? Phone details. Phones also, how many? He can have a mobile phone, then he can have home phone, then he can have office phone, like this. Then he can have email details. He can have a personal email and he can have an official email. So these are the different details of an employee. But employee details, if you sit to discuss like this, it's never ending. You can go on telling, okay, he'll have this one more, he'll have that more, means something like he'll have date of joining, like that we can go on arguing. Okay, many other details if you want, you can go on adding. So it's a never ending subject. In fact, these details are actually related to an application. From the application point of view, you have to see. You should not see this from a database point of view. So employee will go on having many details. But practically in your company, what are all the details you want to capture and store in the database is the question. So always before the tables are created, first is the front end is designed for this. Okay, means, see, application development is on process. Generally what happens, if Infosys or some big company is getting an order, they'll get the order. Okay, after getting the order, they'll create HTML pages, static HTML pages, and display it to the which one? Client. Like Infosys, supposingly Citibank is a client for Infosys. Now what will Infosys do? They'll take the complete requirement. After taking the complete requirement, they will design what? HTML pages and show it to the client HTML, which one? To Citibank. See, this will be your first page. If you click next page will be this. If you click next page will be this. So they'll create the HTML pages, and these HTML pages in fact are called as prototypes. So in this HTML page only you'll be knowing how much of information is going to come into your application. So this is the main input. So based on this, actually the table designs will be created. So let's see, I'll show you a sample HTML page. Okay, so it would be something like this. If you want, you can see here. See, this is an HTML file. I'll open, this is the source code of it. Do not bother about the source code, what it is and all that. Okay, but just see how it looks. Just show it to you. If you double click, it will open up in the browser. Okay, I'll open it in Chrome browser. Any browser you want to open, but this is the display. This is the source code. So I just clear it up for you now. See, it's the same thing now. What I have written it here, these are the same details. So always your tables are created based on your UI like this. Okay, so first UIs will be ready. Okay, UI will be ready, then tables will be created. So there is something called as SDLC, means software development life cycle. Okay, we'll be seeing this process in depth later. So see, there will be a marketing person. He is called MBA. I mean, he is called as a business analyst. BAs they are called. BA, business analyst. So he is the person who is going to get the order for the company. Okay, like for any big company, Infosys, Wipro and all, they'll be doing, this is the marketing department. They go, they fetch the orders, and once they fetch the order, and when they're finalizing, now see, because they have to complete, because the user will tell something, I want an application like this, means the user means the client. See, here I'll be using two words, one is client and one is company, software company. Client means think Citibank. Citibank will be the client for what now? Some software company like Infosys, Wipro or something like that. So the client will give the order to what? This one, these people, and in fact the BA will go to Citibank, he'll do marketing and he'll get the order. So once he gets the order, what will the before they start off doing the project, they'll do mock pages like this. See, this will be the first page. If you click, next page will be this. If you click, next page will be this. So once all this is done, they'll freeze the requirement. They'll freeze means, okay, this is what we are going to do and give it for you. In fact, these are all static pages. It will not execute. If you click, say submit, I'm clicking, nothing happens. It's a plain HTML pages. So first some prototypes will be created like this and it will be shown to the company people. Company people will agree, say okay. No, the client, the Citibank will tell okay. Once they say okay, then the development will start. So in fact these HTML pages will be created most of the time by these BAs only, business analysts. Okay, business analysts only will prepare all this, which are prototypes. So once they prepare and give it to the company now, which one, Infosys or whatever it is, now the architects and all will come into picture. And first, it's a huge process, but just I'm giving an overview of it. So those people, what they do is, in fact, they will look at this UI. This is called the user interface, and they start creating the tables. In fact, the DBA, database administrator, he'll come into picture. Okay, so the database administrator will come into picture and he'll start analyzing. So once he analyzes and he'll identify now. Like he starts identifying, like okay, how many tables are exactly required for this particular screen now. Simply looking at a screen, you will not dump the data into what? A single table now. Because you know the problems now. Or you might end up storing what? Null values, redundant values and all that. So that's the reason what happens. He has got experience now. Based on his experience, he'll have 8 years of experience, 10 years of experience. Based on his experience, he can identify, okay, how many tables are exactly required for the this particular screen, and for the project and all he can identify. So he decides, he'll identify now. See, till now you are thinking how to identify one to many and all that. Only if you see the table, you will not understand. In a table, you will never understand one to many relationship. In the UI, you will understand what is many, one to many. Understood? Generally, I learn database is always from what? Only from table point of view. Database should never be learned from table point of view. Database should always be learned from user interface point of view, UI point of view. Okay. So here what happens? See, he starts analyzing now. So one employee can have many phones. See, this is how it is identified. One employee can have many phones. One employee can have what? Many email. So like this he'll start identifying. And at the same time, one department can have what? Many employees. So these are the screens. Are you seeing it now? These are the screens. So like this, he'll identify. So you want to capture the details of what now? Employee. See how he's identifying now. First name, last name, date of birth are 3 options. The DBA, he goes on to do this. You're having first phone details, mobile, home, office. So 3 phone numbers. It can increase. It can increase means what? Tomorrow you might, the client Citibank will tell, no, add one more field here. Add one more field. It can be what? Alternate number, some other alternate number. Then again he might say add one more. They might ask you to add also, they might ask you to remove also. So the client will go on changing the requirement now. Understood? Whenever they want, they'll add a phone number. Whenever they want, they will remove a phone number. So like this, problems will start off. Anyway, that is one employee can have many phones. So he'll start identifying mobile, home, office, and he's having employee, personal and official. So like this, all details have to be captured now. So once he identifies, he'll create the tables for this now. Okay, so I'll not take the full screen now. Understood? I'll not be taking the full screen. So it is with experience you come to understand this. Not one screen I'll see, I'll be able to create tables. You'll not understand table creations in this way now. You need plenty of examples. This is one of the example I'm taking. Slowly you'll start getting the grip of it now. Yeah. So he'll identify and he'll start creating the tables. Once our tables are ready, what happens? This is the front end now. This is the front end. What you're seeing is the front end. Tables will be ready now. How many tables will be ready? We'll see. 2 or 3 or 4 it will be created. So from the front end, this is your front end now. Values will enter into your application and these values will be dumped into the multiple tables of your database. Values will enter and these values will be dumped into the multiple tables of your database. So this is the process. So we application developers fall under this category. We application developers fall under this particular category. Which category? Of writing CRUD operations on the tables which have been created. Understood? So it is the DBA who goes on to create all the tables for you. Understood? So now on what grounds he creates and all that I'll be covering now. You also practice this. It will be very helpful for you. Okay. So now again if you are observing this screen, more things you observe here. Some more things. Are you clear with the concept now? So we'll be creating what? Tables for this now. But initially I'll be taking only 3 categories, not all. I'll take one department has many employee, one employee has many phone. Still more things have to be covered here, like email and all that. So that I'll cover in the next session. Understood? So one department has many employee, one employee has many phone. Again look at all the screen very carefully. Department, you can see there's a drop down, notice. Like this. Okay, sometimes you'll be having drop downs like this. I'll explain what the drop down is. So see this. In fact, these department now, you're not giving the chance for a user to enter the value. He has to only select. A department has to be only selected, no other thing now. Understood? He has to only select the department and start means submitting now. He'll select either marketing and he'll submit or whatever it is. So supposing here, I'll just show you an example. There's an employee now, AA, first name. Okay, second name would be what? A, his date of birth he'll enter and he'll select which department, transport or something. He'll fill all the values, 111, home is 1111, office 11111, and email he can enter a@, cluster.com, personal no, gmail.com, official would be @ cluster.com, and he'll submit the values. So notice, he's not going to give his ID India and all. What we have to do? We have to generate using sequence. So this is the value which comes, these are the values which enter into your application. So your application will write queries now. How many queries it will write? Depending on the number of tables you want to insert into, you'll write, and all these values will be inserted into your many tables of the database. Practically, this is how an application is built. Practically. Okay. So we have to reach this, and it's very simple. Very, very simple, because to write all this now, Java is giving you excellent libraries. You will not believe. Okay. So for writing logic, so these are the kind of logics we write in companies. Okay. So for writing all this, Java is giving you excellent libraries. Just 2-3 methods you call, automatically data will be stored into what? Wherever required. So that is the power Java has got. Okay. So we'll see the power of ability of Java language later. But fact is, you can use any language here to write your application. Values will enter your application. Okay. And then finally it will be stored in database. Again, why are you using database to store your value? Because when the values enter your application, your values will be stored in variables. The variables are primary memory. As soon as the application completes, the values will be lost. So we do not want the values to be lost. That is the reason we end up storing into database, because that is permanent storage. And next time what happens, whenever you want the value now, user will enter only name and password or something. So once he gives that value, you will connect to database, retrieve the values this time. You want to retrieve the values and then you will use it for processing. So first time you will dump, next time you are going to retrieve it. So like this the processing goes on happening. So this logic what I am telling you now, you can develop it using any language, VB, C#, anything. But why we use Java languages? There are a lot of advantages, like libraries, coding, editing and all becomes very simple. That's it. So we are going to learn this also from Java point of view only. So I've covered Java separately now. I'm covering database separately now. User interface I'll shortly teach you. Once it is over, next all the 3 will be integrated and we will develop an application. Understood? So this will be the process. So it should be very strong now. Only we are going to integrate it. So hardly few things to be done now. Understood? So it's going to be very easy. So end of the day, see, in an application, this all an application is about, you are going to do only what? CRUD operations. Inserting a record, updating a record, reading a record, deleting a record. So to do that, yes, because you are not going to do it on a single table, database is all about what? Doing CRUD operations on multiple tables. That is what I am covering for you. So database is a very vast subject. I am covering it accurately to how much it is required. In fact, I am covering database from many angles here. From an application point of view. Understood? From database itself, means what is database I am teaching you. I am covering database from application point of view. I am covering database from technologies, something like Hibernate and all that. From that point of view I am covering. Slowly you will understand. And also I am covering it from industry level point of view. So I am covering database from many angles. In fact, many people think database is a very huge subject. It is very simple, short and sweet. Only people go on to learn unwanted things in database. Okay, so because they learn so many unwanted things and they'll waste time. In fact, so many times they'll go for learning database for 2 months, 3 months course and all that. Practically 20 days is more than sufficient for learning database. Just you have to put little effort. And see, this is where you have to put little effort. How to, means just if you understand how to create more tables and how to use more tables, it's over. Little effort you have to put, just 2-3 days if you put effort, automatically database will start becoming easy now. That's all database is about. Clear? So what are we doing now? I'll be showing you how to create tables for this particular screen now. In fact, I'll take only what? 3 things now. I'll be covering only department, employee, phone. This basic introduction is sufficient now. So now see, you have started getting doubts. What, how do you, and all that, and all your doubts will start getting cleared. Understood? All your doubts will start getting cleared because we are going to practice more on this itself now. Clear? So see this. I'll just create the tables. I'll first understand conceptually how exactly things will be done. Once you understand how things will be done, doing it is very easy. Doing it is very easy. First of all, you should understand what is required. Once you understand what is required, doing it is very, very simple and easy now. So see this. First, we are going to have one department is going to have what? One department will have what? Many employees. So yes, we'll split now. So this will be department ID. A department table I have now. The first table will be what? A department table. It will have name. D name I'll write. You can go for a big name. Department name. Okay, but I'll name it as, or I'll write it up. No problem. Department name, because it will be more meaningful. So you'll have one department table. So this will be the master table for which one now? Employee table. This will be the master table for employee table. See, this is how the relationship starts building now. So you know the details of the employee. You'll have what? First name. See, there are many details which have to be stored. I'm just going step by step. Okay, just I'm adding one more today is department. Later on we'll add other details. First name, last name. Okay, but the employee belongs to one particular department, no? Understood? So which department he belongs to? So that is why you'll have for one more column now called as department ID. So you'll create 2 tables like this first. Once you create 2 tables, so once you create 2 tables, next what you need for both the tables would be, see, this you'll make it as primary key. You know it, it's a very simple thing. This also you'll create a primary key. Now here what will you do, this column in this table and the column in this table will be related now, linked. To link 2 columns, what I'll do is, I'll start using foreign key. So this will be the foreign key now. So this is a foreign key, and you know the rule. To create a foreign key, mandatory you should have a primary key in some other table. Understood? What is the rule now? To create a primary key, do you need a foreign key? No. To create a primary key constraint, you don't need a foreign key. But to create a foreign key, compulsory, a primary key is required somewhere. So that is why while creating this, what I do here, first primary key should be existing. So now once it is there, I will relate it. What is the advantage now? Invalid data will not be stored now. Because otherwise what will happen? Department only will not be there. You will be storing what? You know the problems now. So anyway, you will relate it now. So once this is done, next see what will happen. Yeah, we'll fill some test data. See, generally one more thing I was telling you, and I showed you the screen. In the screen, what did I show you? I showed you a drop down. Yes or no? For department, what did we see? A drop down I showed you. In fact, those values, when you are displaying the screen now, you will not be allowing the user to type. You will not be allowing the user to type. Those values will be fetched from the database and actually displayed in the screen now. These values, what you are seeing now, which one? I'll show you now. So in fact, the first value you can take it as transport marketing development and the last would be something like HR department. Okay, see these values actually they'll already be there in the these values will already be there in the database now. This will be in the database. So once they are in the database, see you are not allowing the user to enter that particular value. Other values you are allowing him to enter. We had discussed this earlier. So how actually this would happen is, in the back end, data will already be there. In the back end, in the database, data is already stored. We only retrieve that data. While displaying this page now, what we do? We'll retrieve the data and come and display it here. Okay. Now you might have a question, why we are not allowing the user to type his which one department here? Sometimes he'll give his own department now, which is not there in the company. He can type anything. So some things will not allow the user to type. Some things we allow the user to type. And that you'll understand gradually. Okay, as you go on developing applications, you'll understand. Okay. So some things which we do not want the user to display like this, what we do, that kind of, some things which we do not want the user to type, those kind of values, what we do is, we put it in tables, okay, and these kind of tables are called as static tables. Static tables already have data. I'm just introducing you one more word now, called as static tables. So this is called as static table. Okay, now this is called as dynamic table. Why this is called as dynamic table? Because data will be inserted here dynamically. Understood? See, here data will not be inserted. It is already existing. Okay, but here data will go on getting inserted. So this will be static tables, that will be dynamic table. Are you understanding what is the term now? So I am introducing you one more table today. Which one? Static table and dynamic table. Till now you work with only dynamic tables. Okay, but now we are going to see what is static table also. So static tables already have data. So why it is used? To retrieve it and come and only display it to the user. User only can select which department, and you will never give the option for the user to type anything. Understood? So this will be the process. So apart from that, what you are seeing here is, okay, so anyway, there are two tables. One is department, other one is, this will be static now. Okay, so static table, that is dynamic table. So apart from that, what we are seeing here is, this is the master table, or we can also call it as parent table, and this will be what? Slave table or child table. This is how they are related. These two are related. These two tables are related. And now see, I'll just fill some data here. You'll understand. We have to check whether the table design is correct or not now. Okay. So see, employee number by name A. Yes, he is working in the department of transport. Fine. Okay. Now see, one more employee B. He can work in a department of which one? Development. Now one more employee C. He is working in the department of transport again. This is what I mean. One employee is one department can have what? Many employees. This is what I am telling you. One department can have many employees. And these things you will start understanding with experience now. These things you will start understanding with experience, because this is hardly the second example I am taking now. Second example. Before you go from here, you will be doing plenty of projects, sir. You will definitely get the grip of this now. You don't have to worry about this now. Okay, and see, this is master and this is slave, or this is parent and this is child. Always in the master side you will have what? Primary key, and in the slave or child side you will have foreign key, remember that. Or other words, in the one side we have primary key, in the many side we have foreign key. In the one side means what is one? One department. That side you will have primary key, has many employees. That side you will have foreign key. One department has many employees, that side you are going to have foreign key. Now one department will have many employees. So that is why the department ID is becoming what here? Foreign key. The department ID is starting to become the foreign key here. This is how they will be related. And see, this relationship what I am explaining, one to many. It's the most important relationship now. Okay, this is the most important relationship, because when we start learning Hibernate also, the same terminology will come. Because in Hibernate now they will be talking one to many, many to one, and all that. So if you understand these things here, they will start understanding better. I am clearly telling you now itself, warning you now itself, because later on if you start telling I am not understanding Hibernate, I will not be responsible. The reason if you are not understanding Hibernate would be what? Database. Many people jump to learn Hibernate. Fact is they cannot learn. Reason is their database subject will be very weak. They will not understand the subject only there. So Hibernate will be very simple once you know the database subject. So learn, database is the heart of your application. Remember that. It goes on supplying values to your application. Understood? So remember, so that's why this is the most important thing now what I wanted to tell, primary key and foreign key. Okay, and one to many relationship. Is this all terminology clear to you now? Okay, so one department has many employee. Now one employee has many phones. Next. Yes or no? One employee has many phones. Let's see now. So since one employee is going to have many phones, let's see now. So I'll create one more table now. You'll create one more table called as phone. Okay, and here you'll have what? Phone underscore ID, and you'll have phone underscore number, and you'll have employee underscore ID. Fill the test data. Again you'll understand clearly. Phone ID is 1, phone number is 111. It belongs to employee ID by name 101. Now one more, same phone number is 1111. Employee 101 is having 2 phone numbers. Now the B employee has 1 phone number. See this. See, no phone, no invalid data, no null value. Perfectly tables have been designed. Okay, so to do that, what did I do? What I have to do here? Again I have to make this as primary key, and this is what? Foreign key. Why? Because you are using employee now. One employee is having many phones. One side you will put what? Primary key. For many side you will put foreign key. So this is primary key, and this will be linked like this now. Same concept. What was applied there is getting applied here. Understood? Just start working. This is the concept. Throughout your life you will work on this. It will become easy for you. You do not have to worry. Just start working. So one employee is having many phones. Perfect. So again the same rules are applicable here. What? So this is becoming the master table or parent table. Which one? This one. So this becomes what now? Slave or child table. Yes. Then next, here you have got the primary key. This side you have got foreign key. And this is one and this is many. In the one side we put primary key, in the many side we put foreign key. That's it. Same simple story. So now 3 tables are going to be prepared now. Okay, so it's one screen, and you know that we are not going to store the data in a single table now. You know the reasons. Okay, reasons are quite clear. So we started to store the data into 3 tables like this. Once, and now clearly see, so in the first table department there are 2 columns. Yes. Second table employee 4 columns. But notice 3 columns okay. One is a foreign key. Again in in phone 3 columns, but again one is a foreign key. So almost all, if you see in department we are having only one constraint, primary key, and here we are having 2 constraints, which are primary key and foreign key. Here I am having primary key and foreign key. Okay, and now I am only concentrating on 2 constraints, which are primary key and foreign key. That's it. Not concentrating anything more. Means again I found I can apply constraints on what? First name, not null, all that I can do. But let's not bother about that now. Let's concentrate only on how we split the data into multiple tables and how we relate the table data. I mean how do we relate the tables? Understood? So we'll concentrate it only from this point of view now. Is this clear to you? So now apart from this, what you have to do now? So you have to create tables now. You have to create one table. For this table, what you have to do? One constraint you have to create. Again you have to create the next table. You have to create how many constraints for this? 2 constraints. Again you have to create phone table. How many constraints you will create? 2. Means one primary, one foreign key. 2 constraints you have to create. Apart from that, you have to create what? Sequences. Because every table will have what? Sequence. Let it be a static table or a dynamic table. We should not interchange. Every table will have its own sequence. So yes, one of the sequence I will be creating is something like department underscore seek. See, remember when you are having static data now or static tables, generally their ID will go as 10, 20, 30, 40. Generally, you will understand that also. That's the convention we follow. Convention, not rule. It's a convention. Anywhere static table data is there now, we start using IDs as 10, 20, 30, 40 like that. Okay, fine. Anyway, one sequence now where it starts with 10, increments by what? 10. That's it. Okay, that will be the sequence here. Now one more sequence I'll have is employee underscore seek. This will be another sequence which I'll be using on what? Employee table. One more sequence I'll have which will be phone underscore seek, which I'll be using it on employee. Sorry, phone table. Clear? So I'll write the scripts for all this now. This is just a summary. And once you have the ability to create tables, finished. You can easily insert any record into any table because you know in and out of your tables now. Understood? So this is where we have to break the ice actually. Means this is the crucial junction. If you break this now database will become very easy for you. If you just break this particular point now, okay, finish. It's called as the breaking point now. You will easily start understanding database now. Clear? So do it, practice it 1 or 2 days. Database will be very simple now. Only I'll start showing you how to do CRUD operations on it now. Clear? Tables will be ready. Start writing queries now. Are you clear this much now? So shall I clear everything? You have written it down now. So I'm going to write the queries now. Which one? Creating tables and all that. You have written it down in your books. As I go on typing, look at your books. Okay. As I go on typing now, this is the last time I'll be showing you how to write the scripts now. I show you how to write the scripts for all these 3 tables and all that. So as I go on typing, you look at your books and see how I type. Clearly you'll start understanding everything now. So once I do this, tomorrow I'll design more tables for that device, that screen. Okay, draw that screen in your book. That's very crucial. Okay, because of means you draw it in your book. Okay, so looking at that UI, you have to create the tables which I'll be doing tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll complete off that. Yeah. So shall I clear all this now? See, every day when you work, first thing what you do is better, you log into Apex. Okay, every day because you are going to write the scripts every day. Okay. So log into Apex and drop all the tables. It will be ideal. That's what I would recommend. Till you learn database, go to object browser, browse, tables will be there. Now if it is there, it is not there, fine. If there are any tables, what you do? delete it off. You'll understand when to delete, when not to delete, but just I'm telling you these are the some tables are there, because when you start writing script now you'll start facing problem. So delete off these tables. Later on we can write the queries. Okay, now, so today what I'll do, I'll write the scripts. Okay, this you know where I'm going to write now. I'll go to Eclipse example, August 2013, SQL examples. Today I'll create a new folder. I'll name it as 07. Okay, it will be called as what? I'll give some title, static table. Any name you want to give, but a name I'm giving, because we are learning one new topic now. Which one is that? Static data. So I'll give the name as static table. Okay, in this what you do, you can paste that HTML file just for your reference. I'm pasting it so that whenever you want you can refer to this. Okay, so I'm just writing the script for the tables of this screen now. Okay, but we are not taking all, just I'm taking what? Department, employee, phone, that's it. So when I pasted it here, so I'll close this. Okay, fine. Okay, so what I'll do next, just to type, what we have to do now? What do you use? Notepad. Yes, open the notepad. So you can write your first query now. Keep the caps lock on, start typing now. Which is the first query now? You have to create, which is the master table of all? Department. So create it. Create table. This is the last time I'm typing and showing it for you. So practice, see how I type. Create table, department. Yes. Create table, department. Save it better. Go to what? D drive, Eclipse examples, August 2013, SQL, static table. Okay, so save it now. Employee. Okay, you can give any name, but just I'm going with employee.sql name itself. Done. I'm saved it in which one? 7th folder itself. Done. Create table, department. Yes, the table column name now. First column name now. Tell. Yeah. Department underscore ID. Yeah, it is of type what? Data type, number. I'll give the size as 5. Then next column would be what? Department name. Department name, data type would be varchar2. Size I'll make it as 30. Put semicolon. Just run the script and check whether it is working or not first. So keep your Apex also open, as well as what? This I'll close, edit plus. Then what else is open here? This, okay, sequence is over. Okay, so then yeah, create table, department. Once this is done, next what I should do now? I should run the script. So where's the script now? It is there in this location. Copy it, come to DOS prompt. Do not run the script. Go to DOS prompt, CMD. So you're in DOS prompt. Go to SQL client, actually SQL plus Ravi Oracle. Schema I'm entering. Password I've typed. Now I've connected to the schema. So all you have to do is @ of. You can put double quotes and you can paste your script. Just check whether it works or not. Your table has been created. So its script is working. Means you can continue writing your script. This is how you have to continue writing. Clear? So then again if you run you'll get error. Why you'll get error? Because table is already existing. So what you have to do now? Drop it. Drop table, department. Table drop, table created. So continue. So one table is over. Next, after creating the table, what you have to do? You have to add the constraints. What are the constraints you'll add? So you have to add primary key. So what will you do? Alter table. So this table has got only one constraint. Look at your diagrams you have written. Alter table what? Department. Don't see simply me typing. Look at your table and see here. Alter table department, add what? Constraint. What is the constraint you'll add? You know the syntax. Constraint, then next what? Name. PK underscore department ID. Copy, paste. Maximum you just copy paste the column names. It's always ideal. Okay. Then what next? Primary key. Then what? Department ID. It will be applied on department underscore ID column name you have to give. That's it. So now again run the script. It's done. Okay. So again if you want to run the script, done. See now say this is done. So you can, if you want you can write comments now. Okay, I'll write comments later. So next department table is over. Next which table I have to create? Employee table. Very simple. So how will you create? Create table employee. Employee ID. Employee underscore ID number 5. Okay, then next column. Yes, look at your this one. First name. Look at your diagrams. First name. Varchar is the data type. 2. Then what? 30. Then next last name. Varchar 2. 30. Yes, here one extra column you will be getting this time in employee table. Okay. This time, okay, till yesterday we didn't get, but today we'll get. Okay, why we'll get? Because department is going to be a foreign key in this table, so that's why I'll write one more column. But don't write it. Better is you always copy paste. Which one? The primary key, everything you copy paste. So this is the column name. This is the data type, size. Okay. So sometimes when you're typing, you'll make mistakes. That's why I'm telling. Better is you copy paste. Okay, so then just put semicolon, done. Here you have to remove the last comma, remove it. Okay, so then what you do? Again run the script. Table has been created. Again next time error. Why? Because table already exists, you have to drop now. So you have to drop. Which table you will drop? You can drop table employee. See this, now you are dropping the table, fine. I am writing it in second line. You can write it in any line right now. Reason is they are not related. Once the tables start getting related, then it becomes mandatory that child should be dropped first and then parent should be dropped. Understood? Now it's okay, no problem, you run. See, table drop created, table drop created, table drop created, no issue. But once they are related, then you start facing the problem. Anyway, right now it works. Keep it like that itself. So after creating the employee table, what you have to do? You have to add two constraints this time. What are the two constraints? One is primary key, other one is foreign key. So alter table employee, alter table employee, next what? Add constraint what? PK underscore employee underscore ID. Better copy paste. Employee underscore ID. It is of type what? Primary key. Then what? You have to give the column name. Employee ID. Yes, that's it. So your constraints are ready. So again if you run, again it will execute. Still no problem, because why? The tables, two tables are not related. Everything works fine. So now one more constraint I have to add now. In which one? Employee table only. Alter table what? Employee, add, yes, add what? Constraint constraint fk underscore department underscore id. The type of constraint is foreign. It will be referencing department ID. Anyway, this is all about this information what you have typed is about employee table, in employee table, but it is going to reference which one? References department. Okay, better is copy paste. Because one small spelling mistake will cause problems. References department ID in department table, department ID. Understood? In department table it references this one, and if I want I can do on delete cascade, but don't do have the cascading effect, because you know now imagine you delete on department, employee also will be deleted, phones also will be deleted. That dangerous it will be. So you lose heavy data. Data storing only is on headache. Losing data is big headache. Okay, so that's why you should not lose the data. So just we avoid. I'm not telling always you avoid. Maximum times we don't do on delete cascade. It depends on the application requirement. If you want to do on delete cascade means when you delete now, cascading effect will not be there. If you want to delete now, you have to go from child, then next parent, like that. From child you have to delete, then go to its parent. Means if you want to delete on all the details of a department now, you have to first delete the phone, then you have to delete employee, then you have to delete the department, like that. That is more ideal. So that's why we delete of what? Means we remove on delete cascade. That will not be applied now. Fine, this is done. So once this is done, let's run the script now again. Semicolon, yes, let's run the script. Done. So then, but this time I've related. Run the script again and start getting a problem. Why? Because now you are related. Now it's mandatory that you have to drop child table first and then master table. Okay, child and parent. So now it's related. So move this on top. Now it looks, it's going to work now. No issue at all. Okay, if you observe now, one more thing, carefully observe. One concept you observe here. I'm not dropping the constraint at any time. I'm only dropping what? Table. Okay, and I'm creating table. But I'm not dropping constraint and creating constraint now. Why? Because, see, it's something like this. If you drop the column or if you drop the table, anything, if you drop the column, particular column or the table, constraint will go away. So there's no use of dropping constraint. Okay, if you want only explicitly drop only the constraint, then drop the constraint. Understood? But here what happens, if you drop the table, automatically constraint is going to be dropped, because table only is not there, then where is the question of what? Constraint. Clear? So be careful with this one doubt now. Clear? So that's why I have not written anywhere drop constraint. Clear this? Fine. Then next, this is done. Next what you have to do? And this one is over. Let me comment now. Here let's comment now. So this is how you add comments now. So comments, it's better you write it in small case. Okay. Dropping tables. First you will drop tables. Then next what you can do? Here. Create tables and their constraints. Whatever constraints you want, you do it. Done? You are creating all the tables and their constraints. Yes, still it is not over. Next, which one you have to do now? Phone. So yes, let's start doing it. Create table what? Phone. Yeah. You are telling now? Phone ID. Phone ID number 5. Then what? Phone number. Look at the next column. Phone number. Data type is varchar. 15 I'll give because not more than 15 digits. And next here employee ID, because you want to relate these two tables now. Employee ID, better is what? Copy paste. Number, fine. So these are the three columns your phone table will have now. Again you can run the script. Table has been created. This time you will create error, so you have to drop. So which one? This will be the child table, so I'll put it directly on the top itself now. Still they are not related, but anyway we are going to relate it. Drop table, phone, yes. So now let's run the quiz script. Yes, perfect. So then next, you have to create constraints now. On which one? Phone. So let's see now. So alter table. So how many constraints on phone now? 2. Add. One is primary key, correct? Add. Next what? CONSTRA. Constraint. PK underscore phone ID. Primary key. Primary key, the column would be phone ID. That's it, no? Okay. This primary key. So fine, run the script. Done. So now we have to create what? Foreign key. One more constraint. Alter table, phone, add. Constraint FK underscore employee ID. Yeah, this one, no? Sorry. In the employee phone table I'll pick now. Employee ID, yes. Foreign key. Which column? Employee ID. Yes, so this all information is related to again phone table. But this will relate to which one now? You have to write references. Employee table. In that table, which column? Employee ID. So this is how it will reference. No need of on delete cascade. So lay it off. So again run the script. Perfectly executing. Everything fine. Okay. So it's executing fine now. So this much has been done. So next you know that for every table what you should have? A sequence. Whether it is, for all the three tables we need sequence now. So let's see how to create sequence now. Again I'll comment. Okay. Create sequences. Okay. So the query would be create sequence. First sequence we are creating dpt underscore seek. Let's run the start with 10 increment. I told you for static data generally it is incremented by 10 only. Understood? So increment by 10. So I think let's run this. Sequence has been created. Okay. So now again if I run I'll get an error because sequence is already there. So what you have to do? Drop the sequence. So creating sequence one side. Before that what you have to do? Drop sequence. Drop sequence. Sequence name. What is the name? Department underscore seek. Perfect. So then next we have to create two more sequences. Which one? Employee for one for employee and next for I'll just directly create it off. EMP underscore seek I'll do. Okay. And it will start with what? Create sequence employee underscore seek, start with 101, increment by 1. So we'll run the script. First time it might give error if the sequence is not there, sequence does not exist. Next time run properly. So now we need one more sequence. For which one? Huh? For phone we need. Let's create now. Create sequence. Start with 1, increment by 1, this one. And like that you can do anything, no problem. See this. First time it says does not exist because phone sequence was not there. Second time everything will start executing perfectly. Done. So your tables are ready now. If you want you can come and see in the Apex application now. Refresh. And you have your tables here, all the tables. For employee phone, which one? First phone. What are the constraints? Only, yeah, 2, primary key and foreign key. They are related. Employee. Okay, employees are going to have how many constraints? 2 constraints. Okay, similarly department will have 1 constraint, but there is no data in any table still. Okay, so fine. Now tables are ready. Okay, so you drop the sequence and all that. See, generally I told you for static tables, data will already be existing. For static tables, data will be already existing. So I'll do one thing. I'll write the insert queries here itself. See this. Insert. See. I'll comment. This is a new thing what you are seeing now. Just see this carefully. Inserting data into static tables. Fine. Now say insert. In which table you have to insert? Into which one? Department. Yes. Insert into department. Okay, what are the columns? Department ID. And which one? Comma. Yeah, values. I tell the values. Department underscore seek dot next val. Correct? Comma. Next value what? What is the first value? I wrote in the drawing 10, 20, 30. First one is transport. Correct? So keep your scripts ready like this. So what is the next department? Sorry, yeah. Insert into, copying pasting the query. See this. Insert into department, department ID, department underscore name, values, department dot next val again. Next val only. But what is the value? Huh? Marketing. Then fine. One more record. 4 records we need now. Inserting the 4 records. Again department seek dot next val. What is the next value? Development. And lastly HR department. Done? So we'll run the script this time. See, 4 rows have been inserted. 1 row created, yes or no? So 4 rows have been inserted now. So fine. So once 4 rows are inserted, go and see in Apex. Will you see here? Yes or no? Will it be present or not? Huh? Will the data be here or not? No. Why? Commit. So in your script, this time you write commit. So when you are doing DML queries, do commit. In script till now, in our script till now we are doing what? DDL. For DDL no use of commit. But since I written for insert now, I have to write commit. So what you do now? Now you run the script. Commit complete. So now you see. Refresh. And now you can see in department, there is data. Clear? So now we have to fill the data into which one? We have to write queries. Like this, your tables will be ready. The tables will be ready. How your tables will be ready? You know, relating and all that you understood, no? So, just to draw it again, department. I'll write it in shortcut now. Just see this: department ID, D name, what are the values? 10, 20, 30, 40. Yes or no? 10, 20, 30, 40. These values will already be there. First one is transport, marketing, development. Last one is what? HR department. So these records are already there. Next record is for employee. He'll have employee ID, first name, last name, department ID. Very interesting. You'll tell me the query how to fill now. Last you are having phone, phone ID, phone number, employee ID. Yes. So now, see, this is the data I want. First name A. He works to the department of which one? We'll take transport. I'll take. Yes. And see, this is a input of his employee. He is having two phones now. Yeah, tell me now. How will you write the query for this? How you write? Huh? Sorry, there made a mistake. Employee ID is 101. Phone number will be. So this is what I have to fill now. But remember, you always remember the screen now. You know the screen now. So user is giving 2 phone numbers or 3 phone numbers like this. Okay. So this details has already been displayed to him. He's only going to select. Understood? So fine then, and finally you're going to dump into these 2 tables now. So how will you do it now? So you have to write the query now. So data will enter into your application. So you have to write the query. Think like that now. Right now to store into database, what I'm using? Apex client. We are using Apex client to write the query. But that same query will be written where? In your application. Same query, no difference. So practice writing queries now itself from logical point of view, from application point of view. Understood? So whatever you learn it from practical and application point of view. Clear? So yes, how will you write now? I'll write it in Apex, that's it. Lastly, the same queries you'll be typing it in application. No more difference. So very simple now. So yes, I'll start using Apex now for writing what? Queries. And right now, see, in a department there is data, but in employee and phone there is no data. See this, because you have not written anything. There is no data. Phone also does not contain any data. So I will open one Apex now, script writer. Sorry. Enter command. Yes. Start telling now. What you have to write? Insert into, yes, which one now? Employee, yes, the column names. Employee underscore ID. Next column. First name. Next column. Last name. Correct now? Then next. One more is there. Department ID. Correct? Now, values. Yes, start telling the values. Employee underscore seek dot next val. Correct? Seek. Okay. That's the first value you are giving now. Means for his ID. Then next. First name will be what? In single quotes. A. This is also valid. Comma. Next. A. Last name. Then department ID. How will you give? Current value. Current value will be what now? 40. What is the current value of this one? See here if you want. For sequences, department sequence, current value is somewhere, I think it's not showing, but it will be 40. Understood? It will be 40 because you already inserted now. Say I was in sequence, I'll go back to tables. So in department, you can see the data, what it has inserted is 40. Curve value will be 40 now. So what is the concept of all this? When you are inserting foreign key values, be careful. Primary key blindly will go on telling what? Next val. But for foreign key you should be very, very cautious. So what will you do now? Till now for foreign key what you are telling? Till now for foreign key what you are telling? Curval. But now what will you tell? Select department. You have to get the value now. Department underscore ID from what? Department table. Correct? Where? He has selected in UI what? User interface. What? 10 means what? Transport. Where? From department where? D name or department name I have taken? Department underscore name is equal to what? Transport. Correct? Now execute this. So this time see here for foreign key I am inserting foreign key, but this time I am doing select and put this select in bracket. It is inner query. So first that query will execute, value will be retrieved. What will be the value of it? 10. If you want to see this, I will execute this first. See, I am executing that query just to check whether it's correct or not. Correct, it's showing me 10 now. If this is correct, what you do? Paste that query there, that's it. So what do you do now? Run now. One row inserted, but put it in bracket. So now you see clearly. In employee, department by is 10. So you go with the select query now. Clear? So that is done. So once it is done, so this you can remove. Okay. So next we have to insert his phone numbers. So how do you insert now? Insert into phone this time. What? Yeah, phone. What are the things? Phone underscore ID comma phone number comma employee underscore ID values. Yes, what are the values now this time? Phone underscore seek dot next val. Yes, yeah, for phone number 111, correct? Comma, that user will be typing this value will come. Then next employee underscore seek dot curval. See, some places you will use curval, some places you will be doing select. If you want old value, select. Current value, curval. If you want some other value now apart from the current value, go for select operation. So be careful how you insert about the foreign key. What is the sequence we used? A phone underscore, it is not hyphen. Okay, I have to remove auto commit. You know, no? Auto commit has to be removed. Just in case if it doesn't work, it's not yet defined. What is the sequence I used earlier? Where you want me to type commit? Here. And that commit has already happened. Now first if the query executes, then I can type commit. No. You're telling type commit. You're telling me to do this. Write commit here, sir. Correct? That query executes, then I'll commit. No. So employee underscore seek dot next val. Some problem is there. Just check it out. That's how you're going to insert now. That's your assignment. Do it. So finally you can have data everywhere now. I think I should have disabled auto commit before itself. Okay, try it. Especially if you are doing CRUD operations in Apex, better you disable this. Execute it and then you say commit. It will work, no problem. So just you can see now data is getting inserted now. Okay, one thing. Or if you want correctly, just I'll show you. I'll run the script again. Okay, see this. SQL commands, I have disabled auto commit now. Now see the first query I am inserting for which one? Employee. There one row is inserted. Then I'll insert what? Phone. Then you can do commit. This commit you do later. Done now? Yes or no? So now you can go and check your data. Department, okay, refresh. Department anyway is having data, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, employee is having the new data this time, but is belonging to department. Then phone 101. If you want one more phone, send. But I already committed. I don't know whether it works or not. Check out. Okay, if it works, fine. Else, redo it again. What is the other phone? 111. That's it. Very simple. Yeah, it's inserting, no problem, but disable auto commit, especially when you're doing like this. Disable auto commit. Okay, and you can see one more data is getting. No, it's still not committed. Commit. Okay, now you can go into the browser and check phone. You're having two records this time. So this is how they are linked. Okay, now cascading effect will not work. Why? You are not done on delete cascade. So see now how dangerous it is. If you do on delete cascade, what will happen? How much of data will be lost? In fact, in your applications now, main thing is data only. So will not be affordable to lose data. So they take so much of they spend in fact so much of money on what? Not losing data. So that's why maximum times on delete cascade will not be done now. Understood? If you want, you have to delete explicitly one by one now. First delete in phone, then delete in employee, then delete in department. Understood? That's how you have to delete now. Are you clear? Yeah, some key concepts what we have learned today. Now, okay, see. Are you clear now with this? Okay. See, if you drop a column, a particular column, then its constraint is lost. If you drop a column only, constraint is lost. Then if you drop a table, definitely constraint is lost. That's why I was not dropping what? Constraint. Understood? Okay, next thing what you have to observe. Sequence and table are not related. See, constraint and table are related. Some key points you understand now. Constraint and table are related. Why? Because constraint will be applied onto a column of a table. Constraint will be applied on a column of a table. So if you drop the column or the table, constraint is gone. You don't have to write explicitly what? Drop constraint. I didn't do it only. Fine. But if you drop a table, sequence will not be dropped because they are not no way connected. So sequences have to be explicitly dropped. That is one thing. Understood? Sequences have to be explicitly dropped. I dropped now. Drop sequence. But did I drop the constraint? Any constraint? Primary key, foreign key? Nothing I dropped. Because when I am dropping the column or table, it is getting dropped. So table constraints and tables are related. But related in the sense because the constraint will be applied on the table. That is how they are related. Constraint will be applied on the columns. So okay, so they will be related. they will be related, and if a column or table is dropped, automatically constraint is dropped. Now one more thing now. Sequence and table, they are no way related and connected. That's a different objects here. Department underscore seek is a totally different object. You're dropping table, why will that get dropped? Employee underscore seek is a different object. If you're dropping table, why will that get dropped? Correct. So they are not related. And both have to be dropped explicitly. This is one thing. And lastly, cascading effect is there only for what? Data in tables, not for dropping tables. Means don't think if you drop the master table, if you drop the master table, child table also will be dropped. No. You have to drop all the tables explicitly one by one. Cascading effect is not there for dropping tables. Are you understanding what I am trying to say now? You have to drop the phone separately, then employee, then department. Don't think if you drop department, automatically all the tables will be dropped. Cascading effect will not be there for dropping tables. Cascading effect is there for only for data in the tables. Clear? So these are some concepts what you have to observe here. You know how to create multiple tables now, you know how to relate them. But apart from that, side by, these are the different things what you have to observe. Clear? So you observe this, then see it automatically becomes easy for you to work everything here. Clear? So any questions related to this? And slowly you'll get the grip now. See, you're feeling better this class. Next class more doubts will be over. More doubts, more doubts. Same like Java. Initially doubts, then later on they'll start getting clear. In database nothing is there when I'm telling you very clearly. You'll have table, you have to do CRUD operation. That's it. It is as simple. Okay, and it is quite logical also. But to get that logics, it will take time. Like why like this, it will take time. Understood? End of the day I'm telling you, in industry, even if you have 10 years experience also, what you will do? CRUD operation. Understood? CRUD operations only will be maximum doing. Nothing more than that is here. Clear? Any questions? Yeah? So doubts you'll get. I know that. But you type it. Next class I'll be clearing all your doubts. You know that how the class goes. Doubts in this class will be cleared in next class. You don't have to worry about that one. I know what are your doubts. I will definitely clear them in the next class itself. Clear this? Apart from that, still if you have doubts, you ask. No, it will be cleared in next session. Nothing to worry. Okay, that's it then.